say the grid range. No, let's go for the proposal style. Proposal style.
Okay.
So we put out proposal.
Get proposals from individuals?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Then you at least know how they, what they've got, so the CV or the rest of this, yeah.
And for the interim,
This is about the intern.
this is about the interim. So the interviewing would be mayor, the deputy mayor, and the CAO, shortlisted, bring it back to council.
Yes. I think that's reasonable.
Okay, so that's in the motion.
It's the best way to go forward at this point.
Seconder for that? Councillor Cook? Questions on that? Councillor Boston?
I guess the only question I have is, you know, if you two can work together on it, I think sometimes it's helpful to maybe have a third party in there for
Referee.
log jams. Yeah, referee. I guess.
We have three with the
Sorry
CAO.
about
Well, I
that.
don't
Apologize.
know. I think that's unfair to the acting CO. It's a council issue. I guess from what I witnessed last week, I think there's some huge issues in this municipality. And I'm thinking that some of this discussion, before you start shortlisting, there needs to be council discussion on what type of individual, what skill sets are we looking for, and in from CAO. And so I think we need to have that discussion, and I'm thinking one or two councillors just this might be helpful.
So we're going to set up a committee then, and the committee will work under our procedure rules, or how does this work? Councillor Russell?
Well, what this suggestion is, and what Councillor Underwood was just saying, last time we had the discussion about you two, he became the meat in the sandwich, if you remember correct? So here, in terms of setting this up, I think he described it really well. He's done a good job doing those things with the strategic plan, different for us. He could be your meat in your sandwich again if you run into that situation. I mean, just as a referee, it's got to come back to council. I agree.
It's got to come back in. I'll make a friendly amendment that because of your leadership during the past strategic planning, whatever, I think Councillor Russell makes a really good idea. I think you shouldn't leave it to staff. In terms of refereeing, I don't think that's fair to staff. I think this is a council issue with staff. And I think the third party, and I think Martin with his leadership would be an excellent choice.
Councillor Underwood? You want to be in that position?
I'll do it, but I have to have the affirmative, you know, you guys into that? Would you be happy with me doing that or not?
I'm at pleasure of council.
Well, this is going to be a very personal issue with the staff and all the rest of it there. We're going to come to a conclusion one way or the other, and it's going to be decided between the three of us, and I'll be in between sort of
The short list.
for the short list, right? For the short list. And I'd do it. Yeah, we're going to be willing to go ahead.
Do you amend your
Yes, I think I can.
Seconder amend that?
No.
I will say.
Okay, so we have a yeah.
Don't you withdraw the motion?
Withdraw the motion, let's start over and then we'll make it clean.
All right, I'll withdraw the first motion. So, put the motion in, which is pretty well the same, except for my use of the word term transition team, to say we'll be looking for a short list from interim CAO based on the advice of the mayor, the deputy mayor, Councillor Underwood, and the acting CAO. How's that?
Good.
Second by Councillor Scott. Okay. Council's okay with that? All in favor of that? Opposed? Carried. Did we have to set up procedures for a committee? I'm asking the clerk, is that a committee of council with 3 members on it? So under the ombudsman, we have to advertise our meetings? Or under the procedure bylaw, the ombudsman will be looking. Make sure that we- Hopefully not,
Any committee has to follow.
but any committee has to follow our procedure bylaw, so we'll have to advertise our meetings.
It's out of camera, right? So we'll,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So we really can't come back to get the terms of reference for this committee until the meeting in January. How do we, I'm just looking at procedures.
No, you're right.
We follow all the rules.
Mhm. Is it a committee or is it, I guess it is actually.
Well, when there's 3 members of council,
Right. Well, is 2 a committee?
please,
You will be getting a report from the ombudsman in January. Basically, they're just saying that all your committees, regardless of the number, should follow the procedure bylaw. And,
So,
and it just basically states that, when you go in camera, when you're looking at certain applications and you're talking about individuals, definitely, you can go in camera for that.
no, we're gonna be talking about certain individuals, so. Question, is there any way that we can have like a special meeting of the committee? And shorten that time so we can get together, we still advertise and all the rest, but so I think it's pretty vital that we get together before the new year.
what's the process for advertising for an interim, or do we ask for proposals from people that we have contact?
I'm not sure we have procedure or policy. If it's a current position, it has to be posted officially. But in this case, when it's something different, I think requesting
We can request some people, and how would they do this for us? So, like,
from
this-
Army Association databases or.
Okay. There's people available on a short-term basis.
So are we able to put out for proposals, request for proposals within our organization and outside of the organization with a 2-week, or 3-week, I guess, so 3 weeks, cutoff date, and then we can meet, and that would meet our committee responsibilities.
How we gonna do it?
A couple of things, just if you're talking about doing a request for proposals, are you talking about allowing the CAO to send them out to the organization? Because the advertising is going to be a problem. There's only one paper next week, it goes out on the 24th. I don't think the 4th paper has one next week, so we've got some time crunches there, but certainly if it's a request, we can send it out.
Request the people through the,
Through
that
the
are listed.
association.
Through the
I
association.
think would be the best.
We can do that. But again, our terms of reference are gonna be basically this then. Can we establish those as our terms of reference for this committee? Yeah. Yeah, this is what we're, so this, we're to define those things and bring a recommendation back to council. So if we can establish now by the motion that we establish that committee, with this as a terms of reference, and bring it back to the next meeting of council on January 14th, with something, if that works.
We're legal?
That's all I want.
That's what I'm.
Open and legal. Questions on that? All in favor of that? Opposed? It's carried. Any other new business arising? Councilor reports.
Kick off.
I guess.
Had meeting a couple weeks ago with the Thetford Vegetable Growers Association, great group, and the Land from Shores Nature Trails board meeting last week. They're doing some really, really good things, working with other agencies, and a big thank you to the staff that are working with them. You're being very helpful. They're very encouraged. And the other thing, I just want to say, 2012 has been an interesting year, and personally, I would like to thank the citizens that have come out on committees like the Ad Hoc Sewer Committee, the Environmental, or the Economic Development Task Force, the Pragmatic Group, the Land from Shores Nature Trails, Committee in Blooms. It just goes on and on. And truthfully, that's what is helping make this municipality tick. So I'm hoping for more of that in the new year. I'm hoping more citizens get involved and get